Hi and welcome to the Monday Live. Sorry we're a little bit late. Hopefully welcoming in the spring and the summer with some warmer weather. It's interesting in this office. I've got this little cubby hole, as it were, that I do use for the recording. It's quite chilly in the winter and it gets pretty hot in the summer. So, but I'm quite looking forward to it getting a little bit warmer in this little hole that I've got here. So what have we got for ourselves? Well, we are finishing the distributional hands, the opening distributional hands, with some lovely examples that have been sent in by 3 of you, which is nice, all ladies this time, which is a nice change. And then next month is Slam May, isn't it? Slam A. So we are slamming next month. I'm not here next Monday, I will say. That's a bank holiday. But Slam A is what we're doing, and we're going to do more cue bidding. So we are going to add a few ideas about cue bidding to what we've done before. So we're going to do what I call more cue bidding. So we should have some fun there. And as always, please do send in your slam hands. At the same time, we are suit establishing on Fridays, and we are going to have some fun with that, I think. Starting where I start my usual suit establishment seminars and then looking a little bit further into the topic and focusing on declare play for a little while, because of course that is something that we can all do by ourselves. You know, it's all well and good doing all the conventions and even the defensive play, which is wonderful, and you can improve your own defensive play, of course, but there is an element of partnership to that, whereas the declare play is very much a one-person thing. So if you can improve that, it doesn't matter who you're playing with. Well, I suppose it does in the sense that you'd like to get to the right contract, but there you go. So Fridays for the next few months will be on suit establishment. Now, what I'd like to say is, I forgot I was going to start with this, but I'll come back to it now, is we need to give Will a great big thank you, because this is Will's last time moderating for us. He's been moderating since the start, and when you look at the number at the beginning of Monday, as in Monday 201, you'll know that he's been doing a sterling job. And so I'd like to thank him for everything he's done, and wish him a happy retirement in that sense. Not that he hopefully, because of course Will and Sylvia did so many events both for Mr. Bridge and BMB, that it's been lovely that he's been able to help here. So thank you very much, Will. What else have we got? We've got our usual. We have our 5-level decision, particularly tricky, I think, this one. We have the bidding quiz, and our seminar, as I say today, is on those hands. We'll have some beginners stuff at the end as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a fun Monday to finish off April. So let's start with the 5-level decision. So those of you on Friday would have seen this one, and I think it's quite interesting. So let's have a look. So you're sitting east here, and South the opening bidder. So let's see what he does. South opens 1 spade, goes 2 clubs from your partner, 2 spades. And you've got a bid. Now, this isn't the 5-level decision. You've got a bid to make. Vulnerable you are against not. I just feel it looks, I mean, for me, I mean, I could bid, say I'm strong and excited. You could even double perhaps if you felt the reason to. But with such a good club fit here, I think, remember, you're vulnerable against not. Your partner's made a genuine overcall. I'm bidding 3 no trumps here. I think 1 stopper's enough. I know I've got 6 club tricks. I've got the ace of spades. Partner's got to, remember, partner's only got king jack to 6. So I'm bidding 3 no trumps, so that's what I bid. Unfortunately, South decided that wasn't the end of the auction. I think I've made my decision now. Unfortunately, the bidding comes back to you and you have to make another decision. So I'm sorry about that. So having made a decision that you thought was difficult, South has taken it away from you. So he said, no thank you, I'm bidding 4 spades. And it's now your decision again. Isn't it horrible having to make 2 decisions in one hand? So yes, you've got another decision to make over 4 spades. Remember, you are vulnerable against non-vulnerable opponents. Okay, now one of the things I will say on this hand is try to work out where all the points are. Because some people will use the expression 50-point pack here. So the more common expression is a 30-point pack when one side's got a void and they don't need the points there. There seems to be a lot of points on this one. Anyway, we'll come back to it after the after the seminar, and we'll see what I decide. Try and make a decision yourself, and at least see if we marry up. Because I think, like most of these hands, there's more than one right answer. And of course the hand can be different. So it's all well and good having one hand layout where one thing works. There will be other layouts. It's all you're trying to do is do the best you can on the hand. Okay. So let's I'll just do a quick bit of PowerPoint before we go to the hands, because remember, we've been sent hands. So opening distributional hands, what we've said is the crucial element, and in many ways I don't mind what you open on any given hand as long as you make a plan. Okay, and we're going to talk about position again today, but make a plan. So there's a couple of hands that we saw over this week in the teams a couple of weeks ago, where if you've got 9 tricks in a minor and you open one of a minor, you will find it really tricky on your second bid. You can get it right, but a lot of it will be guesswork, and you just don't want to be guessing. So the ideal scenario is you make your plan. If you're very strong, perhaps you plan to reverse or make a jump rebid in a new suit. With 2 suits, it's much easier. So just make a plan. Open at the 2 level for reasons, open at the 1 level for reasons. Okay. So opening position, vulnerability, 4, 4, 4, 1 and 4th position I've put up there. And those are things that are going to come up in the hands, and actually a couple of them are going to involve 4th position decisions. And what does that mean? Well, pass, pass, pass. Should we open or not? Well, that is a slightly different proposition, but it can still involve bidding distributional hands. So we will have a look. So let's look at the hands that come up. I'm just going to move the slide one more so we're ready for the beginners. And then we're going to go to the Q+. So let's move on to the next one. And what I'm going to do is open up all the hands on this particular one. And I'm going to take control of all of them because I think this one is really interesting. So, Anne sent this one in. And North's the dealer. North is vulnerable against non-vulnerable opponents. So North has a decision to make. What's interesting is if North passes, East has a decision to make. And even more interesting than that is if it goes pass, 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 then West has a decision to make. So I think there's a lot of people with decisions to make whether they should open the bidding or not. First of all, it is North. And again, I want you to make a plan here. So if you are going to open the bidding, I don't want you to think at your second bid. So what I would do, believe it or not, is go through all of the options. So if I open a spade, what would I bid if partner bid 1 no trump? What would I bid if partner bid 2 clubs? What would I bid if partner bid 2 diamonds? And what would I bid if partner bid 2 hearts? Okay. What we said though with the North hand is the guideline of 20. I nearly forgot myself there. The guideline of 20. So you have 10 high card points and 5 cards in both of your suits. That is 10 plus 10 is 20. So you're allowed to contemplate an opening bid. I have to say your spade suits looks pretty strong to me, and the other honor is in the other suit. So I would be reasonably comfortable opening this one. I don't mind you not opening, but I'd be reasonably comfortable opening this one. with one spade, and my plan over 2 hearts, of course, would be to rebid 2 spades. Had the suits been the other way round, so if I'd had king to 5 in spades and ace queen jack to 5 diamonds, I'm less comfortable, because then I'm opening the sort of weaker suit first, might even have to rebid the suit, and if I get outbid, I'd be inviting partner to lead the weaker suit. Whereas here, because I'm opening the stronger, I quite like a 1 spade bid. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is see what happens if it goes. So I think if it goes a spade, you might even get a double from East on the first round, or a pass from East, and it would go 1 spade, pass, 2 spades, pass, pass, and then a double. But I think East West are going to find their heart fit and compete for the hand. If it goes pass, so this is what happened at the table, a pass. What would you do with the East hand now? Well, my view of things was cutting. I tend to cut singletons in half. So for me, that would be only 1.5 points for your king of spades there. And so really 10.5 points. You open 1 club. I suppose if partner bids a spade, what are you rebidding? You're rebidding 2 clubs. So remember, I'm making a plan here. 1 club, if partner bids a diamond, I'd bid a heart. If partner bids a heart, I support. But 1 spade looks uncomfortable. So I would feel that passing is reasonable. That's what I'd do, because I'm cutting that king in half. You have got a couple of 10s. So there's ups and downs on the hand, and again, you're non-vulnerable. So I don't mind an opening bid, but I want you to have made your plans. If partner responds a spade, which your partner often will, you need to be rebidding 2 clubs. Now you might be less comfortable. Again, if you had ace 10 9 of clubs rather than ace 10 9 of diamonds, you'd perhaps be more comfortable. Very subtle things. Okay, the 4th option is if it went pass, pass, pass. Now, isn't that interesting? So, you have 11 high card points, but if we cut the queen in half, that takes you back down to 10. So remember the idea is that if you are the 4th player to bid, then you only bid if you hope to get a positive score. Okay, because of course you can choose to pass and get 0. So it's not the same as the usual thing we discuss at pairs bridge, which is -50 is a good score. On this particular board, you have the option of passing for 0. So you need to get better than 0. However, you have got 11 high card points, and on average you'd expect to be about 20-20. So it wouldn't be unreasonable to contemplate a bit if you thought you would win. And of course, the key element here is the length of majors. If you've got reasonable majors, then it's not unreasonable to hope that you might win the auction. Okay, so here I think holding both 4 spades and 4 hearts, it is not unreasonable to open. And I think I might, and although I always say to people, don't open light on 4-4-4-1 hands. Well, the beauty here is I've got a plan. I'm going to open a club, and over a diamond response, I'll bid a heart. And I feel comfortable. I'm bidding both of my strong suits. But if partner's got any support for any of those suits, I'm happy. And so I would actually open it, even if it went pass, pass, pass here. I mean, I like the ace queen 10 and the queen jack as well, and I know the spades are bad, but I've got length there. It turns out the opponents have big length, but that's by the by. So here I would open a club, and the auction would probably go, having everybody pass, it would now probably go a spade, I think, with all the strength in spades for the North, rather than showing a 2-suited bid here. Partner would double to promise 4 hearts. And of course now we would get to hearts. So it'd probably go 2 spades here, but we would bid 3 hearts maybe to compete for the hand. Notice partner knows we're a 4th in hand. I suppose 3 hearts is maybe too much. Phew. I don't know. Actually, you've got a double fit, haven't you? So 4 hearts is probably where you want to finish, amazingly. Yeah, 2 spades is a good bid. 3 hearts looks a lot, but it's actually going to work on the hand, isn't it? Because it's actually, I think, probably going to go past 4 hearts, amazingly. But the main thing about the hand that I wanted to make was that to look at north, easts and wests decision. Because, of course, at the table, if it gets passed, and believe it or not, this did get passed out, the question was, oh, who should bid or who should have bid, etc. And one of the things I put to Anne was, to be honest, I think at most tables, north would have opened 1 spade. And that actually helps, in a way, almost east-west to get into the auction. I'm not sure you're going to bid game most of the time here. Everything fits beautifully, doesn't it? But it's the double fit, of course. The double fit that makes the game a great prospect. Although the hearts break badly, you're going to bring in the clubs. The losing trick count for someone asking, you would count 8 losers for that. So it's an 8 loser hand, so 2 in clubs, 2 in diamonds, 1 in spades, don't forget, and 3 in hearts. Okay, both sides have a double fit, but don't forget, of course, north-south are vulnerable. So that's the key here. Change the vulnerability the other way, and north-south will probably be pushing on to 4 spades. And in 4 spades, they'd lose a couple of diamonds, a club. It would be a good sacrifice if it was non-vulnerable against vulnerable. Bear in mind, though, they'll often be taking the spade finesse. And that's always interesting with singleton kings, isn't it? Singleton king as declarer is going to lose most of the time. Not all the time, as we saw in the teams last week. But as defensive hand, East could easily make ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and the king of spades as well. But notice, if they were non-vulnerable against vulnerable, even going 3 off in 4 spades would be better than us making 4 hearts. That's what's so interesting. Okay, that's enough of that one. Let's move on to this next one. Okay, so this was a nice hand which saw north opening the bidding, non-vulnerable. This was sent in by Alison, so thanks very much, Alison. And obviously we looked at some 4-4-4-1s in the distribution openings when you got really strong hands, and I've just done 4-4-4-1s, 4-4-4-1 hands at Denham as well. And when you've got strong hands like this, they are lovely. Funnily enough, David was asking about the losing trick. These are 4 loser hands here. And so they are very exciting, but your job is to find a fit if you can. So don't forget, if you're going to open at the 1 level, which is what we're going to do because we want to try and find a fit, almost always if you've got a 4-4-4-1 hand with a super strong hand, that you don't have to obey any rules. Here, you want to reverse. So you would open this hand 1 diamond with the plan of rebidding 2 hearts or 2 spades. Does that make sense? You are planning deliberately to bid the suits in the wrong order. So your rules would say, oh, don't open a diamond with this one, because that would be awkward when partner bids 2 clubs. But of course, it's not awkward for you at all. You've got all the money in the world. With 20 points, you desperately want to show strength. So here it would go pass, 2 clubs from partner, and you do bid the reverse, 2 hearts, and as long as you trust each other, that should be forcing to gain. I hope you're happy with that. That should be forcing to gain. And now it sort of depends what you bid on the south hand here. It sort of depends what you bid. What do you fancy here? I think you've got a choice here of 2 no trumps. Queen 10 to 3 seems okay. Bear in mind, though, they're always going to be leading the suits, so you've got to be a little bit careful. You could bid 2 spades as the 4th suit forcing, or you could simply rebid 3 clubs here. Okay. So the option is yours. If you choose 2 no trumps, which I think is okay, what would North bid over 2 no trumps here? And I think the bid here, the right bid here, would be 4 no trumps, and that is quantitative. Okay, that would be quantitative. Again, I quite like Suzanne's bid of 3 spades. We could go back there. I don't mind 3 spades either. okay, which is completely natural, showing your shape. I quite like that because, of course, for me that would be natural. It's interesting that the computer has alerted it. For me, that would be a natural bid, and I quite like it. Obviously completely forcing, because partner might have diamond support, so I think that's reasonable. Remember, that would be a natural bid. Once 2 no trumps has been bid, there's no real reason to use the 3 spades as an unnatural bid here. The other option, probably my favourite, I quite like 3 clubs from the south hand here. I quite like 3 clubs, showing the 6 card suit. You know, because again, partner won't always support you. And imagine partner had a singleton diamond and 3 clubs here. Sorry, a singleton spade and 3 clubs. Here, though, it would go 3 spades. Again, over 3 clubs, be careful with the north hand. If you bid 3 no trumps here, that ends the auction. Yeah. So with the north hand, I know you've got a spade stopper. Okay. But remember, the problem is, I mean, Shirley's suggesting a rebid of 3 no trumps over 1 diamond, 2 clubs. You're too strong. You've got 20 points. Remember, partner knows you haven't got 20 points. You've said I've got less than 20 by opening at the 1 level. Okay. So 3 clubs is I think a nice bid. 3 spades, partner. I know I've got a spade stopper, but the problem with 3 no trumps is that ends the auction. So 3 spades ask for a stopper, and I think partner will bid 3 no trumps. And the beauty of that is it then allows you to bid 4. I need to be inviting slam as the north hand. I need to be inviting slam, and south would actually pass, I hope. Okay, that's the key here. You don't want to be in a slam, but you do need to be interested in a slam. Okay, you really do need to be interested in a slam. It turns out, so the 2 hands here, remember, north, when you hear your partner bid 2 clubs, absolutely, as Will's saying there, I mean, you know, north is pretty excited at this point, so needs to invite slam somehow. Over 3 spades, if partner would bid something else, remember 3 spades completely forcing, then again, you would try and find a way of inviting slam. It's tricky, but when you know you've got 30 plus points, you've got to try. But over 3N, 4N by north inviting slam, south is looking at a hand with a misfit. Okay, he can see that they haven't got a club fit, so south's gorgeous clubs are not likely to be that valuable. Give your partner any kind of fit in clubs and of course you'll be getting excited, but here, as you can see, you're going to lose an ace and a club. As it happens, double dummy, you can make 6 spades. Well done if you bid it, but that's double dummy. You know, you can just about manage, I think, to get the what do you either establish the clubs. Well, no, you can't do that because you're shortening your spades. You probably need to take a heart and a diamond off and finesse the jack on the way of hearts, I think, maybe, you know, no, because they could lead trumps, couldn't they? So you probably need to finesse the jack of hearts, and because it works, you notice, I should say at the table, as Alison pointed out, they did make 12 tricks, but that was because of the ace of hearts lead or a small heart lead or something like that. It may have been a small heart lead, which is perfectly reasonable against no trumps, don't get me wrong, but it does obviously help declare a small heart lead allows you to make an extra heart trick there. And then I think there were some misdiscards. I think a diamond got discarded because you do need a bit of luck to make 12 tricks, but because I think West must have discarded a diamond, which is not unreasonable. If 3 rounds of hearts gets played, you probably will discard a diamond because you want to keep your clubs. But 4 no trumps is as high as you want to be. But you do feel you need to try for slam. I mean, if your partner responds at the 2 level and you've got 20 points, you're sort of feeling, wow, any kind of fit. And that's the beauty here. I mean, as Suzanne said, bidding 3 spades in both auctions, whether it's 2 no trumps or 3 clubs here, I quite like the 3 spades bids in either, simply to say, partner, look, are you sure we haven't got a fit? So, interesting hand. One last one. This one's sent in by Susan. So let's look at this one. Once again, the same, just completely randomly, the the same vulnerability and dealer on all of the hands. So north-south vulnerable again, and let's have a look. So north with a flat 10 count passes, east with a 9 count passes, and south with a 9 count passes. Now this is where it gets interesting. It is West's bid. Should West open or not? So this is quite intriguing here, isn't it? It is quite intriguing. Because it's all about the spades. It's all about the spades. So that first hand we looked at today, Anne's hand, it did have 4 spades in it. So you were borderline. You did have 11 high card points. And quite often it's the rule or guideline of 15. And what you do is you add your spades to the number of points you've got. And here that would add up. You know, you've got 12 points and just 2 spades. However, you do have to bear in mind that if you choose a 1-no trump opening, it's not so easy for them to come into spades. So here, if I did choose to open light, I would open 1-no trump. So I wouldn't be so worried, perhaps, about the spades getting in, because you'd find it. However, your queen, jack, doubleton and diamonds is less desirable. So it's a really close thing, because if you think the hand is worth your 12 points, I'm tempted to bid a no trump. However, I have a lot of sympathy for a pass here. Remember, 1-no trump -1 is no good. Now, what's interesting is that I think Susan did choose a pass, but everybody sort of said, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. Well, actually, I think if you open the bidding, you're almost always going to finish in 1-no trump. And I don't think 1-no trump is great fun. So if you choose a club, for example, it would go a club, a diamond. Well, I'll do it. If you choose a club, it goes a club, pass, a diamond, pass, a heart, pass, a spade. All natural bids. And actually, we'll end up in a no trump after all of that. And actually, 1-no trump, I think, is going to drift one off. I don't think North's got much choice here on that auction, but to lead the second suit bid by East. As in, you want to lead through something, and you most of the time East is going to have 5 diamonds, and you don't want to help declare there. So you're likely to lead a small spade. And I think it'll go small to the 10, and I don't think East is going to have much trouble switching to a club. And I think the defence are going to make 2 spades, 4 clubs and a diamond. So 1-no trump will go 1 off here. Now, as it happens, diamonds will you can make 2 diamonds, maybe even 3 diamonds on this hand. But no, you're just not going to finish in it. So it's interesting. If I'm going to open the West hand, I would open it 1-no trump, because the point is the rule of 15 or the guideline of 15, either one, is saying, look, be careful if you've only got 11 or 12 points, because if you're short in spades, you should probably think about passing. Okay, because very often the opponents will have an 8-card spade fit and they'll be able to make 2 spades. However, if you're opening 1-no trump, it's not easy for them to come in with spades. Whereas if you open 1 club here, on another hand, let's say North has 5 spades, it's easy. If you bid 1-no trump, I don't think he should really, I'm not sure he should really bid Stayman, but I've got Andy's point of view. Andy's suggesting, look, if you open a no trump, maybe East is thinking, look, if partner bids 2 hearts, I'm happy in hearts. If partner bids 2 spades, I'm happy in spades. And if partner bids 2 diamonds, I'm happy in diamonds. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. So Andy's got a point. So if it goes in no trump, it'll probably go, I quite like it. Let's just do that. We'll just start again. So if, again, it goes pass, 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 1-no trump, I quite like Andy's 2 clubs here, Stayman. Yeah, because you're happy if partner bids 2 diamonds as well, and roughing in the short hand. So when it goes 2 hearts, yeah, you might get to a reasonable contract there. Now again, bear in mind the hearts will often break 4-2 here. What do you lead against it? Again, if you lead spades early here, I mean, you're likely to lead a trump, I think. You'll probably lead a club and a trump. If your spade gets knocked out, it might be tricky here. It might be tricky because you won't have any entries to your diamonds. So, yeah, you might still not make. So on a trump lead, you maybe play a club and they lead another trump. Maybe you need to play on diamonds, but you'd need the diamonds to break 3-3. You'd need a lot of luck in diamonds anyway. So, yeah, it's an interesting hand. But I think passing might be right because of the short spades. But if I'm going to open, it's going to be a no trump, and I like the Stayman response there, I must say. So 2 hearts would be intriguing. Intriguing. You're definitely going to make 4 heart tricks. I think it's all about the diamonds, though. If you choose to play on diamonds, it's going to work on this hand, but that's only when the diamonds break 3-3. And actually, the trump's breaking 3-3 as well. So I think those were interesting hands. So thank you very much to all of you for sending in your hands. As I say, it helps me. Now, I know in many ways having hands sent in a sense is less. I've just got to get this ready. Instructive, shall we say, than having the set hands that I've got. I think I might have done the wrong thing there. No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, excuse me. I've just done the wrong thing. Yeah, having obviously set hands allows me to demonstrate things slightly neater. But the thing is, having hands sent in, you feel, oh my goodness, this really does happen in real life, as it were. So it's interesting. Okay, let's go back to this one then. So I've got to go back through the auction, so bear with me. It went 1 spade, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 3 no trumps. We decided on 4 spades, pass, and it's our bid. So vulnerable, I want you, first and foremost, the most important thing in these kind of hands is I trust my partner. Okay, and that's what you've got to say to yourself, I trust my partner. So you are sitting with 16 points here. For me, a vulnerable 2-level overcall is a serious bid. So I am placing my partner with King Jack 10 to 6 and 10 points. So that is 26 points. What are North-South bidding on? They've only got 14 points. So let's assume South is light, maybe 11 points, and North has just 3 points. So it might be 10 points opposite 4, maybe a 5-5 hand. There's got to be quite a bit of distribution. So let's assume South has a guideline of 20 hand. You know, that's what you've got to assume in many ways. The other aspect, I guess your partner could be King Jack 10 to 7 clubs and ace again, an ace outside. He might choose to bid 2 clubs rather than a jump to 3 clubs, but I'm not sure. Not sure. I would like to think that my partner's going to have 10 points most of the time. I'm trusting my partner. And I think the important thing here is that, let's say, give your partner ace, queen of diamonds. I mean, surely North's favourite to have his only points in spades. I think any finesse is going to be right. But the crucial element here is playing pairs bridge. Be really careful here, because the only decisions I saw from people deciding on this hand were double and 5 clubs. And for me, I would feel that 4 spades looks good from the opponents. I think it's got to be a good bid. I mean, I think one of them probably has a singleton club, and I can't see us getting more than 500 out of that. I hope you're happy with that. when I look at this hand, I don't see us getting more than 500. We might get 500, but I would have thought that South is looking at a guideline of 20 hand, and that it looks like they might be able to do okay. At least, remember, 7 tricks is all they need, and you'd feel that that's likely to come in, So the crucial element here for me is that if you're going to bid on, you should be thinking about 4-no trumps here. Now, 4-no trumps is not Blackwood in this auction. 4-no trumps is saying, I still think we can make 4-no trumps, and I'm not prepared to get a bottom by bidding 5 clubs. Does that make sense? So I don't, in a way, mind what you choose to do on this hand, but be aware that if you're going to outbid 4 spades, I think you should be contemplating 5-no trumps. Now, 4-no trumps. Now, remember, as I say, this is not Blackwood. Okay, this is simply saying, I'm not letting them take an easy sacrifice against us. So, I know I've got 7 tricks off the top. It is, I suppose, possible that, well, no, it's not. I disagree. I don't think it is possible. If partner's got an aceless hand with king jack to 6 clubs, he should not have been overcalling 2 clubs. So I think he's got to have an ace. If he's got the ace of hearts, we have 10 tricks off top. If he's got the ace queen of diamonds, we could well have 10 tricks off top. We may not have, but we've got chances. So I don't mind, but I think I prefer 4-no trumps to 5 clubs. Okay, I mean, let me show you the full hand here so that you can see it. Now, am I happy with partner's bid? I'm not sure I am. I'm not sure I am that happy. He is really, really borderline for a 2-level decision, for a 2-level bid. So, I mean, and funnily enough, I did get a question in. I just responded it to today, an email in about, well, I like to do preemptive 2-level overcalls. Well, no, for me, a weak jump overcall. Here, I wouldn't do a weak jump overcall. So you could say this falls between 2 stones, because vulnerable, you can't be jumping to 3 clubs on that because you're not quite sure what the hand is. Do I like 2 clubs? I don't. It's a fine line, but as it is, we still make 4-no trumps. And notice that if you're playing pairs, 5 clubs makes. Don't get me wrong, 5 clubs makes on this hand, but you only get 400 for it, 600, sorry, for it. So of course, 5 clubs is much better than 4 spades doubled, but it's not as good as 4-no trumps. Okay. Will quite rightly saying is West is worth 10 points. Remember, I regard it as needing to be 10 high card points in a 6-card suit, because remember, I'm taking the 2-club bid as a 6-card suit. And again, a lot of you will be surprised by that when I say, oh yeah, and I know partner's got a 6-card suit. I like it to always be a 6-card suit unless partner's got a 15 count. Or 14 count. Well, we know he can't have that because we've got 16 here. Do you agree with the opponent's bidding 1 spade? I think is normal by South. Because there's an overcall, I quite like 2 spades by North. So we've just about fitted the bidding into a 40-point pack. Now, clearly, if West had had the bare ace of diamonds and the jack of hearts, I don't think he should be bidding. So there, I would blame my partner for us not making the no trump bid, if that makes sense. With ace queen of diamonds, he might do. I know the finesse will be working because I believe that South has got to have something for his opening bid. We still might only make 9 tricks. I think it's really tough. I think it's a really tough decision here. But I want you to be contemplating 4-no trumps here as well as 5 clubs. And that's the key for me on the hand. And as you can see here, you will actually make 11 tricks if they don't take the first 3 diamond tricks. And I think they probably will. They'll lead the ace of diamonds. North will say, yes, great lead, king of diamonds, queen of diamonds. And we'll still make 4-no trumps, but we'll only make 4-no trumps. Okay. 4-no trumps is the top score for 630. What's amazing is look at how well they do in 4 spades doubled. Because we can see the spades are breaking evenly, 2-2, we've got 2 of them as it were, it turns out they will always make 2 roughs in the north hand. So they only lose 1 club, 2 hearts and 1 spade. You just get 100 points from 4 spades doubled. Isn't that disgusting, as it were? Okay, so playing teams, that is a game swing. Because it's only 100 and you should be making 600. So that really is tough. And the key for me here is partnership trust. I mean, I think partner is slightly light for this bid, but, you know, we still made 4 no trumps. So if he's, you know, again, if he's got the ace of hearts and an ace and a jack separate there, I really don't think he should be overcalling. So if he had ace to 3 diamonds, for example, and jack, doubleton, heart, he really shouldn't be overcalling 2 clubs. He's got the ace and jack together, king, jack, 10 together. Remember, that 10 is important. If you take the 10 away, I don't want you bidding 2 clubs. Okay, I know it doesn't make any difference on the hand, but it's just, the point is you're making the bids judging how it, anyway, I'm overrunning by a long way here. Okay, so I need to cut myself short. I don't know what's happened to me today. Anyway, all right, let's get that bidding quiz. You know, I haven't even promoted anything, have I? I'll be in trouble for that, so I better put some of that up. We've got a couple of June events. So Denham and the 2 Bridges ones there. And of course, I'm going up north, don't forget, in Annex. So do look into that. I know the singles sell out fast. I know that. But remember, there'll be a waiting list. And you will find that out on a lot of our events. Sorry, you're not supposed to see me there. A lot of our events, the singletons sell out fast. The singles do. So do bear that in mind. There's a cruise to Norway in the autumn. That's with the Croots, which should be lovely. They're coming back to us. Richard has ran events for Mr. Butch a long time ago. He was at university, a friend of mine, believe it or not. So lots of things. Don't forget, you can get all of those on the B&B holiday website. Here's the quiz to finish off, and don't forget the quiz. Of course, you can get the answer on the site whether you're a member or not. 3 spades from your partner, 3 no trumps, and it's your bid. You're non-vulnerable against vulnerable. So it's 3 spades, 3 no trumps, and it's your bid. What do you think with that one? Okay, so it's quite interesting, and we're going to be looking at some of those hands opposite a preempt, but with interesting decisions where the opponent's bid, etc. So again, a theme will be approaching for those bidding quizzes, you've probably noticed. So you can get that answer whether you're a member or not. Don't forget, I should say, for the UK events, if you're not a member, you do get 5% off as a member. So contemplate that. It's another reason. Why you'd need another reason, I don't know, for joining us online. So thanks for your company. Sorry it was so long today, but I'm going to go for the beginners now. So if you want to hold on for that, you're welcome. And we're going to see what we've got here. So let's go. So have a nice week, everybody. So we are still the partner of the leader, and absolutely, so thank you for Will, and enjoy the week. So we are partner of the leader again. We've been doing this for a few weeks, and what we've said as partner of the leader is that when you get the lead, your first thought is to lead back your partner's suit. Okay, when you get the lead, your first thought is to lead back your partner's suit. But there's many things that affect us, and you know, defense is something that we tend to deal with a lot as we go on through bridge into intermediate, etc. And it's one of the most exciting parts of the game. But there is an element of simplicity to it as well. We're going to use very simple logic, I hope, to work out what to do on this hand. So you are in the east seat. The centre of the table is where the northeast southwest is there. Dummy is at the top. We're playing mini bridge. South was the declarer, having had the most points, and he nominated 3 no trumps as his contract. And your partner led the club, the 5 of clubs. Interestingly, dummy played a small one on that. We played the 9 to hope that it did something drastic, and the ace won. The problem is, of course, you can see that the clubs are nice and solid. So although partner's probably led his longest suit, I don't think he's going to have much success in making many tricks there. So de Clower definitely has that suit wrapped up. But de Clower leads the Queen of Hearts. I think he's trying to knock out our ace and king. So we win our king and we work out what to do. Well, if partner's suit is no good, why don't we lead our best suit? Well, that's a reasonable option, but always look at dummy. So you look at the dummy, and the dummy has the ace, the queen, and the jack of the suit. So it looks like South possibly has the king of the suit, so he's going to make all of those. And if South doesn't have the king, who else can have the king? Well, there's only one other player, and that's your partner. And unfortunately, your partner plays before dummy. So if your partner played his king of spades, the dummy would kill it with the ace. And if your partner doesn't play this king of spades, the jack wins. So not only does dummy have the clubs wrapped up, he appears to have the spades wrapped up as well. So bearing that in mind, if clubs are no good and spades are no good, what can we do? Well, I'm not going to lead the suit that de Clower's leading because he seems to be pretty happy about that. So I tell you what, let's lead the other suit. Okay, we haven't got many good cards in it, but nor has dummy. So think about it. Where are the ace, king, queen, jack and 10? We don't know. But hopefully, whatever partner's got, he might be able to win. Because can you see he's in the right position? He is sitting after de Clower. So if we lead the suit, de Clower has to play before partner. And whatever de Clower plays, partner can hopefully beat. So let's try that. Okay, so we're going to try the other suit. We're going to leave the 9 of diamonds, just simply because that is the highest one we've got and hopefully might help a partner. Most importantly, it suggests to partner not to lead them back. Because of course, if we'd had a lovely ace of diamonds assigned, we like to lead a small one if we've got a high card. So it goes 9, jack. Well, de Clower might have all of the high ones, but if de Clower hasn't got them all, partner can win that. Brilliant, he does. Now, what does partner lead back? He's led a heart. Okay, well, I think probably he's guessed we had the ace because we'd won the king on the last one. So he's done well. So what do we do now? Well, we're going to lead another diamond. Let's do it. Why not? It worked last time. It might work again. Well, South's put the king on, but as luck would have it, your partner's got the ace. And believe it or not, your partner does indeed have one more winner. He's won his ace over the king, his queen over the jack, and his 10 is the setting trick. And there we go. Have a look at that hand. You had the ace and king of hearts, and your partner had the ace, queen, 10. But what was interesting is all of your high cards are in your short suits. Your long suits were both headed by the 10. And you might think, well, come on, de Clower could have just taken his winners. But if he just takes his winners, and this is so important as de Clower, South is trying to make 9 tricks. If he simply takes his winners, he just makes 7 tricks. Ace, king, queen, jack of clubs, ace, king, queen, well, he's only got 3 spades, so he can only make 3 of them. So he'd only make 7 tricks. So he's doing the right thing. De Clower wins the first trick, and he's got queen, jack, 10, 9 of hearts. So as long as he knocks out the ace and king, he'll make 2 extra tricks. So of course, if we'd won the ace of hearts and led partner's suit back, de Clower would win it. He'd knock out the king of hearts, and he would make his 9 tricks. However, what we did is we won the king of hearts, and we thought, well, spades are no good, clubs are no good, so we tried the other suit. We led a diamond, and partner is sitting with the ace, queen, 10 over the king and jack. When it's led by you, that is beautiful. If your partner had tried leading that suit himself, and this is what's so difficult about defence, you look at your wonderful diamonds, you think, oh, I'll lead those, but imagine East had led them. If he leads the ace of diamonds and then the queen of diamonds, that's a disaster. If he leads the ace of diamonds, yes, he wins the first trick, but if he then leads the queen, declarer can win his king, play the jack dropping the 10, and declarer would make 3 tricks in diamonds. So it requires East to lead the suit. East leads through declarer. This terminology is tricky. Leading through and leading up to are quite difficult to understand. What's happened though is East is leading a suit where declarer is playing before his partner. And because East can see there's no high diamonds in his hand and none in the dummy, he knows that whatever his partner's got is in a good position. So of course declarer might have had the ace queen 10 and your partner might have had the king jack. Still works quite well though, doesn't it? Because declarer might play the 10 on the first round and the jack would win. And later on declarer might play the queen and the king would win. So your partner would still be in the right position, irrespective of which high card he's got. As long as he's got 1 or 2, he will make tricks because you lead towards his hand. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed that. Defense is tricky, really tricky, but it's an exciting part of the game, and as you learn more and more, learning more about the defense will excite you, I hope. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and see you for more soon.